Hey guys, welcome to AmpUpThe88.com live video chat provided by Amp Energy, where each week we will host a live video chat with one of the members of the 88 team, and you, the fans, get to ask the questions. So if you haven't done so already, log on and submit those questions. This week I'm chatting with JR Rhodes, Director of Entertainment for Junior Motorsports. But before we start, I'm sure many of you know I'm new to the chat. I'm Miss Sprint Cup Amanda Wright. I'm very, very excited to be here. And I'm excited that Amp Energy has invited me to join the chat this week.
All right.
So how are you doing, JR?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Before we start off, just tell us a little bit about your roles and what you do at JR Motorsports.
My title is Director of Entertainment, and what I do is I handle all of the entertainment entities that Dale Jr. has. And we have a production company called Hammerhead, and we do a lot of his online content, his commercials, his photo shoots, and anything that he does with that. We started with doing some television shows back in the day. It was one of the ones that we produced, and then Shifting Gears was one of ours as well. So I do that, and we also have Whiskey River, which is in Charlotte and Jacksonville, and I kind of oversee those projects.
That sounds like so much fun.
Yeah.
Now, since you worked with both senior and junior, Joni Shattuck wants to know who was easier to work with.
Well, let's see. When I started working with Dale Jr., he was 26 years old. So he was in the prime, going out and doing a lot of different things. When I was with Dale Sr., he was 40. So he had already gotten a lot of those wild oats out of his system, and he was really, really there. And so there was two totally different people. But I can't say one was easier than the other, but they just both had different quirks that you had to work around. So I guess if you really wanted to call it, probably his dad, because he's a little older and knew a little bit more what was going on.
Yeah. Now, speaking of being, Irene Reeves wants to know how you became Big E's PR guy.
I'm from Daytona Beach, and I worked at the Speedway for many, many years as a part-time employee during all the races. Got to know Dale, got to know Richard, and a lot of the other guys. So in 1994, Dale's PR guy, Kevin Triplett, went to work for NASCAR, and they needed somebody to replace. I was trying to get into the job market full-time. Put my name in the hat. The guys were comfortable. They knew me. Had some really good recommendations from the people I worked for at the Speedway, and they took a chance.
Yeah, and you're here now. So
exactly.
That's pretty cool. Now, Irene again wants to know exactly how Whiskey River and Hammerhead are doing, both as businesses.
They're all doing well. We've been producing a lot of. We did a photo shoot yesterday with Dale with his nationwide teams and stuff, and Hammerhead's doing really well. Starting some new projects for 2011. Whiskey Rivers are just doing phenomenal. We're just having a really blast with it. We opened up the one in Jacksonville with food, so we're serving some bar food. And then nightlife, it's really been a lot of fun. Got the bull, everybody's been riding the bull. So both places are doing really well.
Any ideas of maybe opening any more Whiskey Rivers?
Yeah, we are. We're looking at different areas. We've got some people that are contacting us saying, would you consider our locations? Mm-hmm. So we're looking at it. It's not that we have to do it. We have to do it if it's right. So we're just making sure, taking our time and making sure it's right.
Cool.
So yeah, well, you'll see more Whiskey Rivers out there.
Keep that in mind, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, what does a typical week look like at Junior Motorsports?
For me, a typical week is, Tuesdays are the meaty marathon Tuesdays is what I call them. So Mondays we go in, and for what I do is I go through what goes on at Whiskey's on the weekends. We prepare what we're doing production-wise. We have a production meeting every Monday. Tuesday, we do a status meeting with all of Junior Motorsports. So we go in there and we know what the marketing people are doing, PR, licensing, the race teams with Junior Motorsports. We're all involved in how we can work together with that and just knowing what's going on. Then I go and I really go for all-day meetings with Whiskey. And with both stores, we do what we're doing promotion, what the numbers are, what we can do to make it better. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it's usually a production. If we're doing some like photo shoots and things of that nature, preparing for that, and just odds and ends stuff, whatever needs to be done at Junior Motorsports or at Hammerhead, we're working on. I may be traveling. I may go down to Jacksonville for a day, and then I also go to the racetrack probably like a dozen times a year with Dale, and so I'll travel with him whenever we go somewhere.
So a week isn't quite typical.
Not at all. Not at all.
All right, guys, we're here with JR Rhodes, Director of Entertainment here for Junior Motorsports. And I have a couple more questions. SF Laitland, I don't know if I'm pronouncing all these different handles right. He says, I heard that you used to be in a band. Can you sing or play us something?
I don't sing. I play drums, and I don't have any here, so so I'm not going to be able to do that today. But I can send you a tape.
All right. Well, can you tell us a little bit about this band that you were in?
My dad was an entertainer for 40 years. The Rhodes brothers started in the 60s with his brothers and played all around the United States, and particularly in Florida, Miami area. And then I grew up in the entertainment, watching them play music, watching them perform. So I took up the drums at a very young age, played drums with his band, and I was out front. And we were a show band, played all the casinos, conventions, and had our own nightclubs in Daytona Beach, in Miami. And that's really how I got into music. And the little story is Dale Jr. plays drums like a lot of people you know. When he was 17, 18, he wanted a drum set to play drums. I had one in the garage. And I worked with Kelly at the time at the company we were working for, and I'd just tell him to come to the house. And that's kind of how he started playing as well. So, but yeah, that's what I did. That's how I kind of got into the entertainment as a director.
Do you guys ever battle it out on the drums?
Not at all.
No?
No, neither one of us play much anymore.
No rock band or anything?
You know, we do a little bit of rock band, but it's more of the guitars and stuff. So. But yeah, we got one at the house we play with.
All right. I have some more questions here. Joni Shattuck also wants to know, when Mike Davis joined to be Junior's PR, did you give him any advice on Dale Jr. himself?
Well, when Mike first joined to do the PR, he's a good student. I mean, I was doing that for 4 or 5 years before Mike even came on board. Mike's really good at knowing how to read people. Mm-hmm. And you get to know Dale, you get to know some of his quirks and what he goes about, and he if he has a question, he asks. You know, I'm not one of those that say you got to do this, you got to do that, but if he's got a question, I give it to him, and this is how you need to do it. And we worked together for 2 years, so he got to know what was going on. You know, he didn't really have to ask a lot of questions.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said you go to races probably what, a dozen times a year or so?
Yeah, when Mike stays home.
Okay.
Mike stays home with his family, and then I'm the substitute.
All right. Well, Sally24 wants to know, what are your responsibilities during the race?
During the race, not a lot. I mean, the people here at Hendrick Motorsports have their part covered, and we're just there for Dale's comfort. Really, we prepare to, when it's time the race is over, the departure plans, and just making sure we have everything. During the race time, we just really pay attention to what's going on in the race in case anything were to happen, and we need to be there. You know, if he's in the garage or something like that, which is rare, we're there when he's there, and just make sure it's all cool. Yeah.
That's cool. It must be really cool working with Dale, huh?
It's great. No, it's a lifestyle that's fun.
Yeah. All right. Now, going back also with the tracks, you only go to about a dozen races. Mm-hmm. Maggie88 wants to know, what's your favorite track and why?
Well, from Daytona Beach, you got to say Daytona International Speedway. You know, grew up there. That's my first race ever. I'm not a fan of restrictor plate races. You know, they're my friends out there, and that bothers me a little bit. You know, the tight racing. But if somebody said I want to go to a race and see a really good show and have a good seat, Richmond. You know, I mean, Richmond is a 3/4 mile track. You got a great seat anywhere in the place. It's really good racing. You know, Bristol's also another one that's great, but Richmond gives you a little bit more speed, and you can see a little bit what's going on. So Daytona first, then I'd say Richmond.
All right, all right. So if you don't like restrictor plate racing, I agree with you. Richmond's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
All right. Now, Kimmy for me wants to know, do you offer Dale Jr. any advice on any of his business ventures?
You know, I'm one of those, if he asks me, I'll give him my opinion. Mm-hmm. And, you know, obviously we work on whiskey together, and that's kind of a business that I operate. So we know, we've known each other for so many years. Kelly is on top of it. She's pretty much got all the right plays of what she needs to do. So if they ask, I give my opinions. Yeah, we all sit in and say, what do you think? And we all give, you know, what we think. But if I if I see something that's going terribly wrong, I'll give my opinion. But if not, I don't. They know what they're doing.
All right, let's see. We got a lot of good questions here from the fans. Grossy25 wants to know, and this probably will tie back into you being in a band, but what did you do before you got involved in racing?
Let's see. My dad was had a restaurant and bar in Daytona Beach. I was a bartender. I managed the place. I entertained. I disc jockeyed. I've done everything in a restaurant that you could possibly do. And then I also worked at the Speedway. You know, the Speedway in Daytona, they have events probably 6-7 months out of the year. People just don't know that.
Wow.
Motorcycle races, go-kart races, car shows. So I worked there a lot. And so I was really doing a dual role, you know, trying to get in. I knew I didn't want to be in the bar life all my life, so that's why I kind of learned the occupation of racing. And that's kind of what I did. You know, growing up on the beach, you do a lot of things.
So you were busy then, you're busy now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good.
No.
Now, Kimmy for me has got some really good questions today. She wants to know, were you as happy as the fans were that Dale Sr. was inducted to the inaugural NASCAR Hall of Fame?
Absolutely. If the man was anything, he wanted to be first, and to see him go first in that first group, yeah, absolutely. It was well deserved, and I'm glad to see everybody supported it. Yeah, it was a great honor.
It still is. It's so cool to at least see the Hall of Fame, you know.
Yeah, if you haven't gone, go. It's worth it. It's definitely worth it. Not just because of Dale, but just all of the things in it that you just don't realize.
That's true. Now, Irene Reeves again wants to know, she said, we asked Mike this, so I would assume Mike Davis. Yeah. What is the craziest thing a fan has done to get to Dale?
Craziest thing? Well, you know, I've seen fake credentials. You know, there's not really one thing that really comes to mind, but they go over and above just to try to do things, you know, crying and just, I mean, it's just nuts. But, you know, they get there.
Big part of Junior Nation.
Absolutely.
Now, I think it's Bad for Junior or BA for Junior says, hey, JR, do you need an assistant?
Always. We have interns all the time. All the time.
So you can be an assistant to the guy that works right with Junior. That'd be cool, you know?
Absolutely. Bring it on.
Now, Sammy18 wants to know, where do you see yourself in 20 years?
On a beach.
That'd be cool.
On a beach under an umbrella. In 20 years, you know, I definitely hope I'm relaxing and enjoying life a little bit more, playing a lot of golf on a boat. So yeah, watching races on Sundays.
From your house or the beach?
From the television. I have DirecTV, so or something like that. I'll be watching TV.
Oh yes. Now, Keena88 wants to know, are there any more plans to do any videos like Any Given Day or Shifting Gears?
Well, with Dale, we don't see any more shifting gears going on. But yeah, I mean, we're talking to other teams and other drivers about possibility things moving on. Brad Keselowski's got some really interesting things happening, and you know, maybe doing something with Brad. But yeah, we're working on some TV shows, something with maybe Junior Motorsports as a team. There's a possibility there. There's couple other programs we're working on. But yeah, we're definitely going to be doing some shows.
All right, fans, so stay tuned with that.
Yeah.
Now, we are about halfway through today's AmpUpThe88.com chat, powered by Amp Energy, what kind do you got there?
Lightning.
Lightning?
Yes.
And have you tried this? This is the
I have. I like the energy juice.
The juice looks good, especially in the morning, you know? Orange juice, give you a little kick. So, I'm Miss Spring Cup Amanda Wright, and I'm here with JR Rhodes, who's Director of Entertainment for Junior Motorsports, answering all of your questions, so keep them coming. All right, well, we have another one here. Texas Sky 88 wants to know, you're working with a lot of the top drivers. Could you tell us who they are? Well, we know one of them.
I'm working with a lot of the top drivers. The ones I work with most, obviously, is Dale Jr.
Right.
You know, Brad Keselowski. We do a lot of work with Brad. You know, I mean, they're all friends. I've worked with a lot of them. So, obviously, Dale Sr. was one, but the one I mainly work for, I work for Dale. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's my main guy.
He's your main guy. He's your
Yep.
main man.
Yep.
All right. Megan14 wants to know, what is your favorite part of a race?
Favorite part of the race? Celebrating in victory lane. Get to see you. Yeah. Yeah. That's the favorite part. Obviously, when the victory, the hard work, the team, the guys here at Hendrick Motorsports, the guys that have been there since 7 o'clock in the morning, building the cars back in the fab shop, and just celebrating with the sponsors and the joy. That's pretty cool. You know, if there was another point, I would say it makes you proud after the national anthem, the flyby, and all that stuff. It's pretty cool as well.
Yeah. What'd you think of this past weekend with the national anthem? Did you hear it?
I did not see it.
It was good. You'll have to check it out. It was Jesse James.
Okay, I know
performed it.
Jessie, yeah.
Yeah, she's good.
She played Whiskey River about a year ago.
She did. That's right.
She did.
Now, Chris86 wants to know, what do you like to do in your free time?
Grew up on the beach, love the water.
Yeah.
You know, I go out on the lake here, I go out on the boats, I fish. I spend a lot of time in Florida and just do outdoor stuff. It's been a lot of fun.
Okay. I wish there was a beach closer to here, but the lake's just as good.
It'll work.
Mary21 wants to know, what is your favorite memory shared with Dale Jr. and racing?
Daytona 500.
Yeah.
You know, winning that and seeing the joy on his face was pretty cool. The only other one was when he won Daytona after his dad passed away. In that first July, that was pretty touching. You know, pretty cool for everybody, not only Dale but the teams, Michael, everybody. It was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. I wish I could have been there. You know?
It was pretty cool.
That is so much fun. All right, and Stealth23 wants to know, if you were not in racing, what would you be doing?
Well, I kind of have both worlds of that. I'm in the bar and restaurant and nightclub business. I enjoy that to an extent. So yeah, I would definitely be in the hospitality industry, doing things that way. I enjoy it. It's fun, and that's what I do.
Now, Irene Reeves wants to know, she wants to know any funny stories about Mike Davis or TJ, which is
TJ,
junior spotter, correct?
Yeah, TJ's a dad.
Oh.
Yes, he's just a new dad since May yeah. So the best part, a funny story with TJ, when he found out he was going to be a father, first thing TJ says to us says, "It's not going to change my life any." We're like, TJ. So now you talk to TJ and, hey, you want to see a picture of the baby, and all these things. So that's one on TJ. Mike, Mike's got his own personality. He's great, and he same thing. When he started, he wasn't a father. He's a father now. So you hear a lot of Gracie stories and things like that. So they're out there.
It's cool to see see him through that
Absolutely.
that time.
Absolutely.
Now, Lori Gold wants to know, will Junior Motorsports have a driver in the Texas race this fall? I don't know if it's nationwide.
In the nationwide series, I mean, yeah, but we're not doing much Cup.
No.
Right now, we're strictly sticking to our development drivers. Nationwide series, that's kind of where our home is right now, and so no, I wouldn't look for us to have a team in Cup this year.
No. Well, you know what? It's with nationwide. I mean, it's
a good series.
It's a good series, yeah.
And they're changing the cars around a little bit, so we're really focusing on building the cars. So yeah, we're just going to stick to that right now.
Not to mention that Dale got that first win in the new car in Daytona.
Absolutely.
That was cool. All right, Sarah 40 wants to know, what does your daily routine look like?
I'm at the office by 8:15, 8:30. I'm there to 6, and a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails, and just coordinating stuff. I mean, like I say, it could be about a band playing at Whiskey River. It could be about doing a commercial, for AMP.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a variety.
So you always have your phone?
Absolutely, I definitely have my Sprint phone.
Yeah, what kind of phone do you have?
Epic.
Ooh.
Love it. 4G.
Epic. Yeah.
4G.
That's a pretty cool phone. Now, Chris21 wants to know, what is your favorite part of your job?
Favorite part of the job is the cool part about my job is you get to go places and do things that normally you would not be able to do. Mm-hmm. That's what I would say the cool part of it. I mean, I've gone and been at events. I've been to events where you're just like, wow, I can't believe I'm here, or you're like, that's cool, you got to meet so and so, and then you turn around and that person maybe a celebrity who's on TV or he's doing a show, like they're pretty cool. You know, that's the cool part about what I do.
Now, who's a cool celebrity you've ever met?
Cool celebrity, George Strait is pretty cool.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's cool. There's just so many of them. You know, there's just so many really cool guys out there. You know, we got to hang out with his dad, with Kix and Ronnie. You know, Brooks and Dunn a lot. There's just really some good guys out there.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever had anyone that's a big Dale Jr. fan that's like a celebrity?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's see, one that comes up. Well, Britney Spears is a big Dale Jr. fan.
Really?
Yeah, and her dad is even a bigger Dale Jr. fan.
Huh.
So that was pretty impressive. You know, you send her dad will call asking for autograph cards for the grandkids.
Oh my goodness.
I gotta give my grandkids some stuff. So we set him up. Jamie is his name, and you know, there's a lot of them out there. The guys from Nickelback and the guys from Three Doors Down are huge Dale Jr. fans. I mean, I've gotten phone calls from the Three Doors Down guys when they were in Germany or something, and Dale did an MTV Cribs, and they were watching it, and they called, "You're not gonna believe this," you know. Brad Arnold is the lead singer, and he's a huge Dale Jr. fan. So
that's cool.
So yeah, it's pretty cool especially when they get to meet.
Yeah.
Because Dale's very shy, and Dale doesn't really like to get into meeting the celebrity. He's very uncomfortable until he breaks the ice. But then once he does, you know, it's great. But what he doesn't understand is that they have such admiration for him and what he does. He doesn't see himself that way.
Yeah.
So when he gets it back, it's pretty cool.
That is cool. Imagine Britney Spears asking for your autograph.
Yeah. You know.
I think I would be shy too. And going back to some of the questions that the fans have submitted, Megan Mag wants to know, what is your favorite band?
My favorite band right now is Zac Brown.
Oh, love them.
Yeah, right now Zac Brown is pretty hot. I went and saw the show about a month ago, and his new CD is really good. The musicianship on it, they're all really good guys. And so I'd have to say right now Zac Brown is top of the charts.
That's cool. Any other ones? Are you a big country music fan?
I like all types. I saw Nickelback last week, you know, and they were really good. You know, their new tour is going to be pretty good. So I'm a little bit of country, I'm a little bit of rock and roll. You know, I mean, I like a little bit of everything. So growing up in the music business, you kind of, you know, have a appreciation for what it takes to do all types. So yeah.
All right. So with the music aspect, and with bringing it on to Whiskey River, Sam Stars, this is kind of a like a little question about Whiskey River, kind of like switching gears a little bit. Have you ever ridden the bull at Whiskey River?
No, and I will not.
No?
No. People ask me that all the time. Come on, you're going to get up. I'm like, no, I will not ride the bull.
Even if there's no one there?
Even if I've had many opportunities, and I will not ride the bull. It just doesn't look intriguing to me.
It looks kind of scary.
Yeah, I have no desire to ride. I mean, in the daytime, the guys blow up the cushion and everything, and people ride it. And come on, get up there. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it.
No. Now going back to Zac Brown, he actually performed at the AMP Energy 500 last year. Were you there to see him?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It was a great event. AMP put on a heck of a show in the infield of Talladega. It was on Halloween night.
Oh my goodness.
It was just so much excitement. It rained a little bit, so you're thinking, oh, what's going to happen? But when it came time to perform, Dale was there. Dale introduced him, and he put on a great show. It was a great show. It was a fun event for the AMP Energy 500. It was a good time.
That's so much fun.
It was.
Now, Racing Fan 11 wants to know, he's switching gears a little bit too.
All right.
Have you ever driven a race car, and if you have, how fast have you gone?
No desire to drive. I have ridden in the car with Dale Jr. about 4 or 5 times at different places. And that's a bad thing because he tries to see how scared he can get you.
Oh, goodness.
You know, I did tracks Rockingham, Atlanta, Charlotte, Talladega. Atlanta, when you're going down that backstretch and you go into that third turn and he's looking at you going, ah! You're like straight ahead, 2 ends, 10, 11, you know. And it's pretty scary. until you get in the car, you don't realize how raw it is. And then you're doing it by with one car out there and just what he's doing now. Imagine with 43 out there. There's no way. You understand why physically and mentally you have to be in the game. Because it's crazy.
That is insane. Shaq versus Junior was the one that comes up to mind when they had that. That was a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Now, what do you guys do when you hang out at the real Whiskey River? Race Fan 1881 wants to know.
We visit, hang out, drink a little Amp Energy juice, and shoot some pool, and play darts, and just kind of hang. You
don't end up in jail, do you?
There's a jail there. If somebody gets out of line, we can definitely put them in jail. I know the sheriff, so I can talk him, out of it, and he'll go talk to the judge, and then, it's all trouble. But yeah, we just hang out. We just low key, and it's a group of friends that just can go and hang out. And we have such a good time. There's no pressure. There's nobody talking business. It's just fun.
That's cool. Speaking of the sheriff, actually, Beck Beat 555 wants to know: is Dale Jr. a good boss?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he. I got a motivational speech yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Really?
Yeah. He told him, says, you gotta do this. You come on, keep it up. Yeah. He's a good boss. He pays attention. He lets you do what you need to do. He doesn't micromanage, because he doesn't like to be micromanaged. So he lets you do what he does, and he lets Kelly do the real business bossing. If it's coming down, Kelly's the one that's going to say, hey, you got to do this, you got to do that. Not that she's the bad guy, but he focuses on his driving, and he lets Kelly run the business.
They have a really good relationship.
Absolutely.
The two of them.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, they live in the same neighborhood. They're there together all the time. If Dale needs something, he's always got his sister right there.
That's
pretty
awesome.
cool. And vice versa. She can always call her brother whenever she needs something.
Nothing better than have a brother by your side.
Absolutely.
So. All right. Racing is Life wants to know, what concerts have you seen this year?
This year. Okay.
Or should I say, which concerts haven't you seen this year?
I like to go to concerts. Darius Ruckers, Nickelback, Zach Brown, Kings of Leon, Paul McCartney, Eagles. That's enough.
Wow.
Good shows. Really good shows.
Now, how many concerts have you been to in your life?
Oh, I don't know.
Lost count?
A lot.
That may be.
Yeah, a lot. I enjoy music. That's what I do. I grew up in music, so I enjoy shows. I play as a performer. You like to go hear it and see what they do.
Now, with that being said, Sam Starr wants to know, with the October race at Charlotte Motor Speedway coming up, do you have any good bands or activities, any big names coming to Whiskey River?
We don't really bring a lot of live bands in during race week because there's just so many other events going on during the race week stuff. So no, we don't really have a lot of live music going on during race week. We'll have nights of playing. We'll play a lot of good music. I know that Blues Travelers is playing in the area, in the epicenter where we're at, upstairs, and we're like the post party after their concerts. So no, not inside Whiskey River, but in the area. You'll see a lot of that.
Now, Joni Shattuck wants to know, did you ever bartend at Whiskey River in Charlotte?
No.
No.
No. I have bartended before.
Yeah.
But it's been a while.
It's been a while. It's been
a while. As a matter of fact, I was bartending one night or 2 nights a week when I got the call to go to work for Dale Sr.
Really? Now, could you like throw the bottles or do any cool tricks?
I could, but I didn't really do that. I went from bartending at the bar, 2 weeks later sitting on a private plane with Dale Sr. on his 7-time championship year, working and doing stuff. So it was definitely a quick transition.
That's shifting gears for you. That's
Big
like
time.
Completely turning 180.
Big time.
Now, Irene Reeves wants to know, what commercial was Killer just filmed in with Dale?
Killer?
Isn't his dog?
It may have been a Time Warner commercial. I'm not sure. I wasn't there for that. It may have been a Time Warner commercial, but I'm not sure.
Now, Irene, God, you're on top of things. She's asked questions. I'm like, I don't even know about that.
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll have one more question.
Okay.
And well, one more thing. Your good friend Steve Crisp, who's director of Hendrick Performance Group, really wanted to be here to see you today, but you know he's traveling, so he must have some really, really good stories to tell. But how about you tell us a good story about Steve?
About Steve. Well, I mean, he was the guy that I always went to whenever I needed advice or when I did things. A good story on Steve is if you need to know anything about a vehicle, primarily Chevrolet, and you say, what about that 1975 something? Steve will tell you the battery, the fuses, the light bulbs, when they changed the bucket seats into the bench seats, and what type of seat belt, and why they discontinued the seat belt, and when they discontinued it. He's just an encyclopedia of knowledge. And he's one of the most funniest people you've ever. If he tells you a story, you just roll laughing. He's hysterical, and you know, he's just very a wealth of knowledge from vehicle. I call him the encyclopedia. You know, like we'll look at a picture. He and I used to share an office together, next to each other at DEI, and I was telling Mr. Hendrick this yesterday. I was like, you'd walk in there and ask him a question about something, or show him a picture of something. 2 hours later, you're leaving, because he told you so much stuff about that picture, and the guy that worked on it, or his brother's cousin or uncle that did something. So he's just fun. I mean, he's just a really good guy. One time he and I went to New York for the banquet. It was I would say it's 2002. We were there with Teresa, and it was snowing. And he and I weren't, it was a big snowstorm, we weren't planning on it. So he and I were walking down the streets of New York in the snow looking to buy scarves and stuff. And it was like, come on, let's go in here, let's go in here. We ended up buying New York Yankee hats and like $12 gloves from the CVS or whatever was there. So, but yeah, we've been friends for a long time. He's just a really good guy, really good guy.
So in other words, you and him equal trouble.
Absolutely, but fun trouble.
Yes. Now, that's enough trouble for this week. Remember to check back in next week right here on ampup88.com. We'll be chatting with Adam Emmert, who's the front tire changer on the 88.
Cool. Adam's a good guy.
All right. Thank you so much, JR, for being here.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for questions.
Have a good one, guys.